For more debates, updates, and bonus content, sign up at thebigconversation.show. Pew Research in 2021 said that currently about 3 in 10 US adults, 29%, are nuns. So these are people who describe themselves either as atheists, agnostics, or just nothing in particular. And in fact, that rises quite significantly among millennials and Gen Z. So millennials, about 49% of millennials in the US now identifying as nuns. And again, almost the same number, 49% of Gen Z. So this is the trend. People kind of deciding, no, I'm not affiliated to any particular religious tradition. And that certainly was your story up to now, Mikhaila, and initially it was your story as well, John. So what's behind that? What are the big picture things that you're seeing among that generation that mean they're just turned off church? They're not interested maybe in, organized religion and that kind of thing. I'll start with you, Mikhaila, and then come to John.
Well, I was turned off of it from seeing like bumper stickers from people that are like, if you don't have Jesus, then it's hell. And it's like, whether or not that's true, that's not how you get other people to understand what you believe. So what I had been exposed to were like more evangelical Christians that kind of, and it's not a Christian thing to do to like look down on other people, but the way that they were speaking sounded cultish and I didn't understand it at all. And it sounded like rehearsed, like something they'd heard when they were little that they'd just been rehearsing forever. And it was like, okay, you just said that sentence, but what does it mean? Like, what on earth are you talking about? And so I think part of the reason people are turned off religion is because some people who are religious don't know how to speak to people who haven't experienced it at all. And not experiencing it means it's very, very difficult to understand. And then, and I think it's hard for people who grew up, in a Christian family, maybe to understand what it's like to not feel it. So I think people don't identify as religion because of that. And then people don't identify as religious, because it doesn't really, because we're taught science and it doesn't really make sense if you don't really think about it and if you don't experience it yourself. Like if someone just explains something by saying, well, God or Jesus, it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Do you agree with that broadly, John? And anything else to add?
Yeah, no, I think I think she's right about that too. I think there's a lot I could say about that, but I guess to put it to another angle too is there was a study done by underneath Barna in May of 2021 where he talked about the majority, I think it was 89% of millennials hold to what he calls in the article syncretism. And really what it is a mix of different worldviews that provide an understanding or response to life. And in that, what it is basically is and this makes more sense with what I've noticed too. It doesn't seem to me that people are necessarily anti-Christianity or anti-religious. It's just that we're asking the wrong questions because we're thinking differently about it. I think as millennials, we're not looking to say, okay, of all these different worldviews out there, which one am I going to choose? Okay, I want that one. And now I'm holding everything within that worldview. You know what I mean? It's just like everything's just systematic and consistent worldview. Instead, it's kind of more from the ground up. I think millennials are typically starting from an absence of a worldview, and then they're choosing which parts make sense or which parts are the most useful, and then they're adding that to their worldview because it really starts from spirituality or from identity. And this is why the term spiritual but not religious makes sense, because it's starting from personal identity and saying what's consistent with this personal identity, and they're adding on to that. So I think a lot of the times with these studies, they're asking the wrong question because it's not as though people are less religious or something like that. It's just not in the way that we tend to think about it.